Hi everyone, I'm Paul Berrow, founder of Plant Me Botanics, 320 MHz. I'm going to run you through a few areas in order to grant an insight into the range. Our policy towards preservatives, our policy towards no water, our policy towards no interference with the life force of the plants by gentle extraction at all times and no use of solvents or anything that might harm the active aspect of those ingredients. This shoreline and the ocean beyond is a very harsh environment, and we take a lot of our bioactives from the shoreline and the ocean specifically because it is a harsh environment. We also take them from the Arctic Circle, raspberry, lingonberry, cranberries that grow in a different kind of harsh environment. But they do create bioactives which are extremely effective in skincare, specifically targeted at areas such as fine lines, circulation, brown spots, a myriad of different applications, including pollution, anti-pollution. Come winter or summer, this environment between the ocean and the shoreline is changing all of the time. It can be frost and snow, storms and salt spray. Plants develop a natural surviving mechanism, and it's that survival mechanism that we seek out in the laboratories to imbue the serums of the range. The plants that survive and strive have incredible gifts. They're very hard to extract, they're very expensive to extract, but they are the new frontier for advanced botanic science. And in the ocean, there are various types of seaweeds in the ocean. We use 4 different seaweeds. Specifically, we use the algae from those seaweeds because that's the DNA of the plant, where the most potency exists. It's those bioactives that, as a brand, we focus on. Of course, the question that I get asked most is, what's all the fuss about? What's so different about this range of products compared with the myriad of other oils and creams that are on the market? It's important to recognize the profound change that's taken place in the world of bioactives over the last 5 years. One of the clear indicators of why we are often spoken about as the ultimate destination for scientifically advanced, pure botanic skincare is because we're preservative free. And we're only able to be preservative free because we don't use any water in any of our products. Because water equals bacteria. So if you have water, you have bacteria. If you have bacteria, then you have to have preservatives. Apart from the fact that the research on modern preservative systems, of which there are literally hundreds of them, is pretty new. The empirical knowledge is low. But what we do know is that the cells reject preservatives the moment that they're applied to the skin. And they reject them for good reason, because they are alien to the cell. The cell does not recognize them as a friend, and consequently the body metabolizes those preservatives before it gets round to absorbing the nutrition. In order to understand the brand architecture of the formulations, it's quite simple. There are 3 key categories. Organic essential oils, neroli, rose otto, yuzu, that come from the finest meadows in the world. Then there are the carrier oils, which are seed oils, moringa, oat, prickly pear, oils like squalane. They're all on the back of every product, very clearly written, because we're proud of them. We have nothing to hide. Those carrier oils is the second category. And then the third category, and the one that really defines the difference between us and other products, is the range of bioactives that we take from the ocean and from the shoreline and from obscure parts of the planet such as the Arctic Circle. I planted hundreds of trees here and I haven't been back for 10 years. So it's fantastic to see the way they've come on and thrived in the meadows. And as you know, Plant Me Botanics began on a charity initiative for planting moringa trees in Africa with the Green World campaign. And we make a contribution to that effort every year and hope to do so forever. Somewhere in Africa, probably Kenya, somebody's going to be planting some trees because of it. And that's part of our sustainability ethos. How do you take nature's gifts and get them into a bottle with the least possible interference? That was the task that we set ourselves in order to capture the life force of the plant and bottle it ready for our customers, so that the oils that were in that bottle were actually still alive and had not been diminished by preservatives or by toxic processing, solvent processing, all the things that diminish the life force of the plant to the bottle in that cycle. So interference, lack of interference, becomes a central part of the ethos of the brand. Lack of interference with botanic life. What's a bioactive? Well, a bioactive can be many things. In the broadest sense, any plant life extract could be described as a bioactive. But within the scientific community of formulators, we consider bioactives to be a very potent extraction from plant life. I passionately believe in the ethos of respecting nature. And in return, if you show it respect, capture the life force of the plants with the minimum interference, it will reward us in return. That symbiotic relationship between nature and the human race, it's only really just begun to be understood, but more importantly, perhaps appreciated. And if we practice sustainability and we practice gentle behavior with nature, the gifts that it will give us are infinitesimal, most of which we have yet to discover. We strive to be the ultimate destination for consumers who are looking for a preservative-free, water-free, synthetic-free, scientifically advanced skincare regime. To be the ultimate destination requires a level of obsessive perfectionism in order to achieve as pure a product as we can possibly do. And the scientists in France and in the UK who came on board the vision of trying to create a skincare range that would still be relevant in 20 years from now may have sounded exorbitant at the time, but in the last 6 years that we've been developing it, we don't seem to be quite as crazy as we seemed to be at the time. And it's now becoming quite commonplace for skincare to strive for purity. And that's largely due to scientific advancements in the last 5 years. It's been profound. And the big game changer was when those bioactives became available as an oil-soluble ingredient with no water present. And we were the first brand to really embrace the pantheon of bioactives and place them within an oil, water-free environment. And that's how 320 MHz came about. And that's what makes it so unique.